Hello people of the internet. It has been such a long time since I've made a video, and I've been wanting to make this one since I got these. These are the Amazon Basic dual tip brush pens, blendable nylon brush fine tip 52 pack. That's what it says on there, and this is what they've looked like. And I have had a couple of people ask me to compare these to the Tombows. Now clearly they are made to, let's see if we've got an exact colour match there. Probably not. Let's go with that one. Yeah, actually let's get a nice one out and go with that one. There we go. These are the Tombows and these are the Amazon Basic. So let's have a look at them both. So the lids are very similar, both with a stop to stop them rolling off the desk. The other end is similar as well. These ones say Amazon Basics, these just say Tombow with the brush and the fine end there. These have the colour number on them, the Tombows, and that as well. These don't have anything on them, not a colour number or anything. So let's have a look at both the ends. So Tombow first has one end like that, and the Amazon has similar but a bit more pointed. So this one is the Amazon one. Okay, oh, I've got to remember which. Amazon have got a ridged lid, and then Tombows have a ridged lid, and this has a just one ridge. So Tombow lid and Amazon lid. Okay, so there, that's very interesting. The Amazon brush tip is like just a foam cone. And this is similar but fatter. That's really quite interesting. Okay, so that's the mechanics of both the pens. Let's have a look at the pens themselves. So they just come in this box, and there's 52 in here supposedly. Like I just discovered, they don't have any colour names. And what's that? What is that? Something wrapped in polythene. Okay, let's get these all out. Okay, so there seems to be a stand of some sort. Oh, is that what these are? Are these the sticks for the stand? Is that what they are? Let's get these out and have a look, shall we? It's like a mini version of the... Is there 52 holes in there? Okay. Is that how this is going to work? Oh, that's tough, isn't it? Okay, let me put this together and I'll come back. I have semi put it together. I can't get these things all the way in, so I've just done 2 of them for now. It will give me a representation of what it'll be like. Now the other thing I want to do is kind of sort out the colours. This is sort of chucked in. Is that a yellow or a green? Looks like a fluorescent yellow, doesn't it? Let's put it here with the yellows for now. That's a peach, a lighter peach, an orange, another orange, a lighter orange. You're not going to want to watch me. I'll speed this up for you. I just realised, obviously, this is just going by the colours of the lids. If the lids are not reflective of what the colours of the pens are, this is going to go very pear-shaped. I never know where to put light pinks. Let's do it that way. That one now feels more like a red. A darker red. Like that. Again, these lids might all be wrong. This sort of reminds me, do you remember the Tombows used to have a stand like this before they brought out the other one? I'll put a picture of it here. They used to have a stand just like this before they moved on to the other one. That and black, so yes, 52 do fit in there. Does it go sideways? No, it's really not a sideways stand. Alright, I'm going to swatch them, but I'm not going to bother to do a swatch sheet. Don't all gasp. The reason why I'm not going to bother to do a swatch sheet is because they've got no numbers and no names, so it's kind of pointless. But what I am going to do is do the swatch on watercolour paper. Got me tea, just in case. Let's start at the beginning and just swatch them. Ooh, they feel quite similar to the Tombows when you put them down. Quite nice. Oops, I'm just chucking them on the thing rather than putting them in order. That one was darker than that one. Oh, that is green. Alright, you know what I'm going to do now, don't you? I'm going to try and blend them out. Actually, maybe I won't. Maybe what I'll do is swatch them all first. Let me. Oh, sorry, I should have brought you down. Let me swatch them all first. I'll do it on speed swatch because you don't need to. Them colours are very similar. Between this in minute. This stand, by the way, is a pain in the bottom. It's once you're trying to get the ones in and out the middle, it's not useful. Just going to stop at this point to see whether the lids match the colours. Not really, to be fair. Maybe a bit. I mean, these two lids look the same and the pens are much different. I mean, maybe. No, I mean, that is the lid for that one. So, no, I don't think they do. bit lighter, and black. Sorry, I keep hitting you. Twice I hit you. Sorry. Right, now I'm going to revisit something. So this is my swatch book, and here, this is my Tombows, and I brushed them all out with water on watercolour pen. I'm not sure if I did it on camera or not. And then I've done three different videos where I compared. This is me comparing all water-based pens. I think it was something like water-based pens, watercolour pens, or whatever. And you can see that, you know, various different pens, the old Pentel pens, a Hoo brush tip pen, Spectrum Noir pens, Spectrum Noir Aqua, the ones that are supposed to be able to blend out with water, the Tombow Jewel tip, stress markers, and then various ones that are just watercolour. I mean, these ones were called watercolour pens. There's no watercolour. And what these three different blobs were, this was it wet, this was it dried, and this was it taken off the tip. So basically lay it down and blend it out straight away while it was still wet. Lay it out and let it dry, and then take it off the tip with a water brush. Now all of them pretty much worked with the take it off the tip, apart from the Norris Clubs, which just totally separated. And then these came out, which are also, these are the Oh Hoo Hoo art markers, which I think were also competing for the, you know, the same sort of crown, because they have got slightly different white barrels, but they're dual tip with a bullet tip at one end and a brush tip at the other. Similar shaped bodies. The Oh Hoo Hoos do have coloured names and numbers on them, and I wasn't overly optimistic that these would compete with Tombows. I just thought they was just going to be a fancier water-based pen. But when we did a little test here, you know all the rest of the writing because this has been used over time, that was a Tombow blended out wet and dry, or the other way around. This was the new Oh Hoo Hoos blended out wet and dry, and this was the old Oh Hoo Hoos and the Artesian Real Brush Pens, which are just water-based pens. I just wanted to see how the new Oh Hoo Hoos and the old Oh Hoo Hoos, were they just a sort of rebadged version of the old pen, or were they proper, you know, pens that blend out with water, are reactive with water, as good as the Tombows? And these really, not these, the Oh Hoo Hoos really were. I was really impressed with how similar to the Tombows they were. So now what I want to do is get an Amazon Basic, a Tombow, and an Oh Hoo Hoo, and see how similar they are. So this has now had plenty of time to dry, but what I am going to do is get, that's mixed media paper. I want watercolour paper. Do I have any? I'm going to have to take the back of that, am I? Yeah, because that's mixed media. Oh, I guess. Oh, I've got another sheet of that under there. I'll do it on. Let's do it on the bit that's underneath. Right, let's see if these blend out first of all off the bat. So this is a water brush pen. It's the Kuretake water brush pen, which is the best one, and it has water in it. Don't know if you can see on my hand. It is wet. So these are now well dry. Let's see if they blend out. Oh, they more disappear than blend out. Let me just go and get a tissue. Okay, make sure that's nice and clean before we move on to the next one. Seems to have some blue dye on it. Water's very blue coming out of that. Let's do this pink one. Well, it's not too bad, but they're not really blending out. They're more being washed away. I mean, it's not leaving any, well, it's not leaving any line. Considering they're dried in, it's not too bad. It's a shame they haven't got names and numbers on them, and they really could compete with the Tombows. I do feel more like they're washing away though than, oh, sorry, I should bring you down a little bit, shouldn't I? rather than dissolving. Doing just a selection of different colours. This dark green. And this green. I don't do too bad. I don't blend out too bad. Considering they've been left to dry. The only other ones who do it is this, you know, when they're left to dry really well is Tombows. Okay, let's finish with the black, because you can't not do it with the black. Alright. So, I mean, you can see some of the colours, you can see the line. Oh, look at that. It really left that dirty, didn't it? I'm going to have to go and refill my water brush. Brush has been refilled. Splodge, splodge. I'm not going to bother to compare these pens to the Artisas and the old Oohoo and all the stuff that we did before. And the reason I'm not doing that is because we already did it, and we already know that the Tombows come out top and the Oohoo's come out as good as the Tombows. So there's no point in sort of like going over, rehashing the same tests. Right, let's pick a colour that's similar. Right, this is a Tombow. This is a Tombow. So is that, but that colour doesn't look quite right. Need a more greeny. Well, we'll go with that. That looks about as good as it could get. Right. I've got a splitting headache today. Makes it really difficult to concentrate. I've still got a bit of a dodgy eye, and it makes me head hurt sometimes. If you don't know what I'm talking about with my dodgy eye, I had a bit of a detached retina situation going on. So, alright, so let's start with the king. The king itself, very appropriate at the moment, considering we have just got a king. So there's the Tombow. There's the Tombow. Wet, straight off the bat. And it blends straight off the bat. Okay, and then I'm going to put a bit of Tombow here. I'm going to write Tombow here. Got to let that dry. Then we're going to do the Oohoo. Oohoo, with it still wet. Blend straight off the bat. Not too bad. And stick a bit here. And put Oohoo there. And then the Amazon Basics. Wet. Colours are quite similar actually, of these ones that I've chosen. Straight off the bat. Add a bit here to dry. And I put AB there. While I'm doing that, I'm going to do a squiggly wiggly with the other side of the Oohoo. Feel very similar, and all three of those feel very similar, to be fair. Do not get them mixed up. Right, let us let this dry for a little bit longer, and then I shall come back and see whether they blend out. Okay, some time has passed. I've just been playing with two colours down there. I did a blob of a Tombow, a blob thing, and then tried to take away as much as I could, see what remained while I was waiting for these to dry. I think they're probably dry. So let us do the Tombow first. Okay, so the Tombow from dry pretty much all dissolves. Don't really see much of the line left over. And then the Ohuhu, pretty much all dissolves. Not quite as quickly and not quite as well as the Tombows. And then the Amazon Basics, get there in the end, but it is a bit slow. Well, I don't know. Let's do this. Take, yeah, see, this really does, when you soak up all the water, you see that most of the Tombow dissolved. Most of the Ohuhu dissolved. There's just a shadow. And then the Amazon Basic, you can still see the colour around it. So I'm not sure the Amazon Basics are comparable to the Tombows. I mean, bear in mind, financially, I think these were about £25 for 52 pence, so 50p a pen. The Tombows are more than 50p a pen. Let me just get a standard water-based pen, one of the older Hoo-Hoos. You've seen these a million times before. What colour are we doing? Greeny, bluey colour. Let's go this one. These are not builder's water reactive. We're not trying to be rip-off Tombows. They are just water-based markers. So, let's get the pen ready so we can do a wet one. So, straight down, straight wet. Yeah, see, they are better than them. They are awful. I'm not even going to bother to do it dry. So, I guess there's the conclusion then, isn't it, really? The Tombows are still the best. The Ohuhus are pretty good. They pretty much got there. The Amazon Basics, they're great if you do them straight wet. Not so good if you let them dry. Interesting. Let's grab this water-based. My tissue, look. I should have got a proper piece of kitchen towel rather than toilet paper. Maybe go through these lines. And that's what's on this, is tissue paper, toilet paper. Yeah, I don't think the Ohuhus don't do a bad job. Yeah, the Amazon Basics struggling there. I mean, they're not bad for the price. If you want a similar pen to a Tombow, for the price, the Amazon Basics are not bad. If you've got the Tombows, then I won't bother, because they haven't got the names on them, they haven't got the numbers on them, whatever. So, okay, let's do the one more test I want to do, and that's in a double-sided colouring book test. Yay! Let's do that. Okay, so there's two books that I do these double-sided tests on. This is Joanna Basford, a Joanna Basford book. This is World of Flowers. And then the other one is A Million Sloths by Lulu Mayo. Woo! I've got a pen avalanche happening next to me. Okay. I've lost it now. Okay, so I need a green. You need to come down really a long way. I'm doing these ones differently, aren't I? These were the what does it say? Stabilo brush. So these ones are going to be the... Have I never done the Ohuhu? Staedtler pencil Ohuhu, but that would have been the other Ohuhu. Ooh, interesting. Okay, well let's do this one as the Amazon Basics. So we need the red. So not that one. That one. Okay. Just get you very well down, because I need to get down as well. Oh. Oh, this is not a very good... Does not colour well on this. Let me get the other red, because that red is awful. Let's get this one. These do not colour well on this paper. I mean, they're not going to go through, I don't think, because they feel like they're hardly laying anything down. Nope, nothing went through. But that's the beauty of brush pens, is they don't seem to go through on this paper, which is really thick paper. We all know Joanna Bashford, really thick paper. Okay, let's get me sloth book. Don't mix up your pens. Somewhere in here. Yes, here it is. Let's try that third red. I've tried all three reds now. Actually, let's try this one. What do I do up here? So, all these really are... They don't feel like brush pens when you do them on a colouring book. Okay, let's see whether that went through. Nope, it didn't. Okay, so these are quite good if you want a decent selection of pens. I've got a green one somewhere that I do, yes. A decent selection of pens for double-sided colouring books. Which one am I going to do? Oh, I'll do one up here. A decent selection of pens for double-sided colouring books that are not too expensive. Now, I went over a little bit on that, so it might... No, we did alright, you know. We did alright. Let's do another one. So, in double-sided colouring books, they are as good as... Not mix my Tombows up with my Amazon Basics. Let me get a Tombow green. And neither of those went through at all. Not even a blob. That went down a bit nicer. It didn't feel quite so scratchy. And again, nothing comes through on that. And then let us try a well, these do feel nice, these oh-hoo-hoos. Brush wise, they all feel roughly the same. No, again, pretty much the same. So interesting. Interesting indeed. This one, the green one that I just used. That one, maybe. So, Amazon Basics. Oh-hoo-hoo. And the Tombow. Got to change them now because I've got to have it in that kind of order. There you go. So the Tombow, the oh-hoo-hoo, the Amazon Basic, very similar in double-sided colouring books. Breaking down with water-wise, the Tombows to me are still the king, because that was wet, that was dry, that was wet, that was dry. The oh-hoo-hoos, you see a shadow. The Amazon Basics, you see a shadow. This was a control test of just a water-based pen, the older hoo-hoo-hoos. Yeah, I think the Tombows, I mean, I have the Tombows. If I didn't have the Tombows, I think the oh-hoo-hoos are 24, 48, 72 for about £30. These are 52 for about £24. So the actual Ohuhus are actually better value for money, aren't they? Because I think if I didn't have the Tombows, which we know are expensive, and I had to pick between the Ohuhus and the Amazon Basics, I'd choose the Ohuhus. One, because they just can break down a little bit better, but mostly because they've also got names and colour numbers on them, which the Amazon Basics don't. But 52 pence, 25 quid, 50p a pen, if that's your budget, they're good enough, you know. And they've got nice brush nibs. The brush nibs don't feel much. That's a Tombow. They feel a little bit firmer. Look at that. Look at that sort of long bit of the drop there. Where it's the long bit of the tip where it's not quite so flexible. So that's an Tombow. That is an Amazon Basic. That's an Ohuhu. Yeah, the Ohuhu and the Tombows. They make a nice set. The thing about the Tombows, not the Tombows. Tombows come in 128 colours, 102, over 100 colours. The thing is about the Ohuhus, if I remember, they were a bit lacking in some colours. There wasn't many browns, and they had very light shades. These light pastel shades up the top here, these light pastel shades are the perfect complement for a set of Tombows. So if you've got a set of Tombows, you want some lighter shades. They're nice. They do match really nicely. I bought my Tombows bit by bit, so I haven't swatched them all out yet. They are lovely, the Tombows, I must admit. I don't know why I keep buying other water-based pens when I've got all the Tombows. Anyway, if you've got all the Tombows, I wouldn't bother. If you haven't got the Tombows and you're looking for a cheaper alternative, I'd go with the Ohuhus. And if the Ohuhus are too expensive and the Amazon Basics are, you know, all you can afford, they're not a bad pen. So, thanks for watching, everyone. And that is my review of the Amazon Basic dual tip water-based pens. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Bye.